Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel iTech Analytics Solutions. This is Power BI DAX series Basic to Advanced. So in this video, you will be learning about DAX Formula Syntax, and this is the fourth video of this complete Power BI DAX Basic to Advanced series. So let's first understand what is DAX Formula Syntax. So DAX, the full form is Data Analysis Expressions, which you have already discussed in our first video. It is a formula language which is used in Power BI, Excel and SSAs. The meaning of syntax is nothing but it is the structure and the rules of writing DAX formulas. And understanding syntax is very much essential because if you want to get accurate and proper results, so we have to understand the proper syntax of the DAX. So let's understand about anatomy of a DAX formula. So you can see the formula structure. I'll also show you the practical way, the DAX formula syntax, how it will be. But now let's go through this slide. Say, if you want to start a DAX, it begins with equal sign, exactly like what we have this Excel formulas. We have this equal sign. It contains functions, operators, and also some references. You can see the example here. It says equals sum, which is nothing but the function, sales, which is nothing but the table, and you can see the amount, which is the field. So let me just show you in our Power BI. You can see I'm in this Power BI window. Let me go to this table view, and here you can see I have the table. What we'll do is we'll try to write one DAX formula, a simple DAX formula. I'll take this new column, or you can take new measure or new table. Any of these calculations you can take. Let's take new measure. When I click on this new measure, so we'll get the formula bar enabled, and you can see it says measure equals. This we've already seen in our previous video as well. Let me just go here. I'll name it as total sales equals. So this is where the formula starts. We'll mention sum, which is nothing but the function. When I open the parenthesis, you can see here the argument, it says column name. So I'll take sales, wherein you can see orders, which is nothing but the table. The sales is nothing but the field which is having the sales value. So I'll close the parenthesis. If I press enter, then you will get this total sales measure. So this is the syntax. We'll learn about this still more in detail in the next slide. Alright, let's understand the key components of DAX syntax. Function, as I mentioned, we have functions like sum, average, count, min, max. There are many predefined functions which are there in DAX. I just showed you an example of sum. Then we have the column which we specify along with the field reference, and also we have the table name. You can see in this case it is sales is nothing but the table name, amount is the field. We can also use the operators if you want to do some calculations. Say we have arithmetic operators, plus, minus, multiplication, division, or logical operators like and, or. There are many other operators which we can actually use, which you'll be learning in the coming chapters as well. We can also use constant values, that is, we can use, say, some text within double quotes. So these are some of the key components. I'll show you some examples as well. That is, in our next slide, we have some examples. I'll show you practically using the Power BI DAX syntax. Common DAX functions. Aggregation, say we have sum, average, minimum, maximum. We have logical functions, say if, and, or. Text functions, concatenate, left, right. There are many other functions also which we'll discuss in our next videos. We have date time functions, that is today, year, month. Okay, these are some of the DAX, common DAX functions. The next slide we'll see referencing columns and tables. You can see the syntax here. It says table name and we have a square bracket. Within that we have this column name. So this is the format of the syntax. I just showed you with example, that is when I mentioned equals sum, that is the function. You can just see here. Sum is a function. Orders is a table. You can see there is a square bracket for the field. This is the field name or the column name. All right. Suppose if you're writing any functions, make sure that you are not using the same name for another column. So you should avoid this duplicating of the column name. So you will get errors. Let me just show you. Now you can see that I have this total sales equals sum of order, that is sales. Let me create one more measure. I'll go to this table tools and I'll say new measure. Let's try to create one more column, that is total sales. So you cannot have two column names, say total sales. Let me take it as sum of profit. I'll just take profit. Let me press enter. See, it says the name total sales is already used for a measure on table orders. Choose a different name. So we get a message like this if you're trying to enter two columns with the same name. So that is what the point says. It says avoid ambiguous column names. Let me show you some examples as well. As I showed you practically, so sales, that is the table name, amount is the field name. So we should avoid only the column name. Some people actually make a mistake that they go and directly take the column name. Let me just show you that as well. Say I have this sum, and if I just, let me make it as total profit equals sum of, if I just type profit, close the bracket, and if I say enter, you can see there is a red line here which says there is an error. You can see that it will throw error. See, it says some function only accepts a column referencing as an argument. That means here this is not taken properly. We have to give a table name along with the field name. Right. Now let's understand about the key points for writing DAX formulas. Use parenthesis for function arguments. So we have this parenthesis, and also we have to mention the square bracket for the field name. So if you just observe here, you can see I have this sum and I've taken this profit, which is just a field name, which is not in a proper manner. So what we'll do, we'll take this profit. You can see that we have the parenthesis which is opened after sum, and then in the end I'll just close this. So here you can see open bracket and close bracket within the argument. So this is called as the argument, right? Now if I press enter, you can see just processing. See, now this is perfect. All right. Ensure column and table name match your data model. So what does that says? Here I say orders, and you can see the table name here. It should be exactly same. That is the reason what you have to do is any point of time when you are actually writing a DAX formula, make sure that you will not type like this. Some people have the habit of typing like this. So avoid that. What I can do is now say I want to use profit. I'll type this profit and use tab instead of pressing enter, and close the bracket. Now this will be perfect so that you don't have to type anything, or you while typing you might make mistake. Let's say instead of orders you would have mentioned order. So this is also wrong because order is a table where we don't have that order in our model. Okay, so please avoid these kind of mistakes. All right, avoid spaces in names, use underscore instead. So here it is not actually wrong, but you can see that, see here, usually what we do is we give some space here. There's nothing wrong. It's a good practice to have an underscore like this. Again, I'm telling it is nothing wrong in giving space, but avoid it so that it will be easy for us to understand, right? Okay. Use nested functions carefully for clarity, sometimes we'll have to use nested functions, that is by using if functions. When you come to the functions, that is conditional functions, or many other functions, will work on this nested function. So now if I tell, it will be slightly complex to understand. So you just keep this in mind. I will explain about this nested functions in the coming sessions. Right. Practical example of DAX syntax. Already I've shown a few simple examples. Let me show you one more example. So here we have this if sum of sales, that is amount, is greater than 50,000, it should be high or low. So in my table, I don't have this amount, I have the sales. So here sales is actually orders for me. The table is orders, and in this case amount is nothing but the field name. So don't go with the same example here what we have. I'll give the same example, but the table and the column name might differ. Don't get confused. All right, so let me just remove this particular formula. Now what I'll do is I'll take total sales. See, this total sales and the one what I've taken there is totally different, because the other column has got space. So this is without space. So we can have a column name like this. Okay. Total sales equals, I'll write the same formula, if sum of sales. Okay. You can see that in this case, for me, the table is orders and the field name is sales. Don't get confused. In this example, I given it as sales and amount. Let me go here. I'll say if it is greater than 5,000. Okay. See here, if sum of sales is greater than 5,000, I'll give one comma, and you can see that result if true, result if false, I'll say high. If it is false, I'll say low. So here if you just understand, if is nothing but the function, the conditional function, sum is again a function, orders is a table, sales is a column name or a field name. This 5,000, high and low, they are constant values. Let me go back, I'll explain. See, if is a logical function, sum is an aggregate function, and condition, it will check if the sum is greater than 50,000 in this case. So we have taken 5,000. Now the result is high or low. So this high and low, these are constant values, that is they won't change. It is like if the condition is true, I'll get high. If it is false, I'll get low. So you can use this syntax. Right. Debugging of DAX. What is debugging? Debugging means, say, what happens when I get some errors. So I have to go and check. There is a message what we get. We can go and we can correct exactly with the error message what we have got. Okay. Check for the syntax errors. So here I showed you. Let me just go here. See, I'll just make some mistake here. You can see that I deleted the double quotes and the bracket. See, there is an error. So we have to go see the following syntax error occurred during parsing invalid token line 1 offset 35 low. So here we have to give a double quote. So we have to go and study the errors. Say, check the syntax errors. Use the formula bar for clarity. So here, if you have done any mistake or something, say for example, I'll go here. Say I'm selecting this total sales, and if you just observe here, you can see that there is one warning mark here. That means there is some error. So what I can do, I can go select here, and then you can check what is the syntax error. Okay, right. Test intermediate results with the measure. So you can go, you can check whether the results are proper. Use DAX debugging tools like DAX Studio. There is something called as an application or a tool called as DAX Studio, which will help you in debugging as well. Right. Let's understand the overall summary and what best practices we can actually use for working on this DAX syntax. So understand DAX syntax before writing formulas. So whenever you're writing your formulas, make sure that you understand the DAX syntax properly. Use clear specific references. Say, try to refer the proper column and the table. That will actually give you the good results, proper results. Leverage DAX functions effectively. Use proper DAX functions always. Practice with sample data to master syntax. Practice. We all know that practice makes us perfect. So keep on practicing, for sure you will master the syntax. Right, so this is all what we have in this chapter. So let's see what is there in the next topic. The next topic is understanding data types in DAX. Right, so people, I hope this video was really very helpful for you people. So if you still think that you want to make your career better in data analytics, or if you think you're looking for a better career in the data analytics field, please contact us with the number mentioned on screen. That is 9066078793. You can mail us to enquiry@itsinc.in, or you can also visit our website itasinc.in. You will get lot of information, and also there are so many courses which you have loaded, say e-learning courses to the live courses, free webinars, free workshops, which can help you in learning more skills in data analytics and data science. If you have not followed us, or say still not following us, please do follow us on our YouTube channel, which is already mentioned in the description, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So all the links have been mentioned in our description. So please go to that particular link and try to follow us. And I hope, once again, this video, the syntax of DAX, was very useful for you people. If you think this video is very useful, please do like. And if you think this is more useful for others, please do share this particular video. And also make sure that you comment and give us some suggestions, or how the video was helpful for you people. So please do comment in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next DAX series.